just me. There's no in between. So this
is just me.
Just me.
Why there is no in between.
So
this ain't my scene, I'll beg my leave. My face ain't clean, this is just me. Some ways I lean, escaping green. I state my dream, not in between. This ain't my scene, I'll beg my leave. My face ain't clean, this is just me. Some ways I lean, escaping green. No in between.
This is just me. A sound, a style, a groove, a rhythm. No in between. I know you have to say what you're giving. I'll move on, yeah, I'll move on. 1 minute, then I'm gone. I'm gone. So this is just me. It's a sound, it's a style, it's a groove, it's a rhythm. No in between. I know you have to say what you're giving. I'll move on, yeah, I'll move on. 1 minute, then I'm 1 minute, then I'm
Right, hello Facebook and YouTube, my beautiful entrepreneurs from all over. It is so good to see you here again today. Welcome to the Coffee Shop Show. This is your space where you get to feel safe, mingle with other safe entrepreneurs from around the world, and get all of the answers to all of your different questions. I am Nestine.
And I'm lucky to be in time. I'm Peter.
And we're the co-founders of Explore ProTech Entrepreneurial Haven. And so today we are answering a question from one of our awesome YouTube subscribers. This one is from Cara. And Cara wants to know, how do you use social capital to build your business? So Cara, that is a freaking fabulous question. We are going to dedicate the next just under an hour to answering that question, and we'll get our expert entrepreneurs from all around the world to give you their various insights from all the different industries. So we'll get going with that straight away. If you are a guest on this show, please feel free to participate in the chat with us. And if you're one of our tribe members, then start taking out your wigs or putting on whatever you want to put on, because you're live now and the spotlight is on you. By the way, guys, if you see someone on this show and you love them and you just have to talk to them and connect with them, you're more than welcome to do that. That is what the show is for. All their LinkedIn links are in the description below. So go and click on that and connect with these awesome, awesome human beings. Okay, on that note, let's see who wants to start. People who want to start with answering this question, please put up your heart. And then we'll hear from them. Okay, so our very first contender entrepreneur, Janine Lingenfelder. How do we use social capital to build our businesses?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Nestine. So, social capital in the sense means fame and recognition, right? So for me, it's all about building your social capital is to really engage with your friends and your followers and to follow up. That's the important thing, is to follow up when you've engaged with them. And it's all about surround yourself with social entrepreneurs. And how that helped me with my business is it gave my business credibility, and it made me stand out so that my fellow social entrepreneurs are there to actually give back in the sense of, well, liking, sharing, and putting me top of mind. I'm Janine from Jelani Sales, your virtual sales office.
Thank you, Janine. That's an absolutely epic answer. I mean, guys, you can trust what Janine is saying, because one of the first things she did when she actually got into our community was she founded her own community. Now that is working the social capital to the max. That is amazing. She literally gave us a call and she was like, hey, how's about a virtual assistant network to serve all your global entrepreneurs? And we were like, 2 networks for the price of 1. Oh my goodness, yes. And it's just been working from there. So fabulous. Thank you so much, Janine. Okay, guys, can I see hearts? Who wants to go next? Who wants to tell us all about how do you use social capital to build your business? I mean, is it a thing? Is it a thing like financial capital, or like, is it just a buzzword? Does it actually exist? Tell us all about it. Okay, let's go with the Levy, Stephen Levy.
Thanks, Ernestine, and good afternoon, everybody. So it's not something, this is something new to me, so I was quite interested in listening to the answers from the experts. So we got Janine here, we got Marty and Marlon, all in the social field, but I think it's very much putting yourself out there visibly. This is my own interpretation of it. Putting yourself out there and maybe putting yourself out in the right tribe or the right communities. And that increases your visibility and your credibility. And I think, like I experienced, I know Linda Dent has experienced that, where you can actually get together. For example, Linda and I are both coaching business, and you can get together with people in the same, even in your same industry, can help you build your business because there's collaboration. You learn from each other if you're open to that. And I think one should be in today's world, because it's very much about social capital. I think is about building relationships and then being open to being secure enough in who you are that you can actually collaborate with others and share information and so on. I mean, it's like Linda can give me her complete blueprint of how she coaches. It doesn't mean that I'm going to get all her clients. There are people that connect with her and that don't. There are people connect with me and that don't. And I think that for me is my understanding of the social capital. And then do the same in the people that you're trying to target. When you're clear on who you're trying to target, maybe just also network within those communities and so on. So yeah, I think it's very important. And you spoke about financial. Is it as important as financial capital? Very much so, because without people, how are you going to build your business? You can have all the money in the world. And then I suppose you also need money. So that's Stephen from Dare to Be, Coaching and Beyond.
Thank you, Stephen. Awkward silence there for a minute. But that was an awesome answer. I love that. Really, really awesome, because you're in the leadership field. So it's so cool to hear all the different perspectives from all over. Okay, so I think Linda's going to jump through the screen if we don't give her an opportunity. So Linda, Dane, we'd love to hear from you. How do you use social capital to build your business? And guys, I just have to tell you, Linda is one of the most introverted people on this planet. And she's one of the best social entrepreneurs, hands down, that I've ever met. And I'm not just saying this, like I have so much respect for her. So listen, Linda, how do we use social capital to build our business?
Thanks. I'm going to just take a step back though, right? Because social capital is a new term, or relatively new term, but for something that's actually been around for decades, if not centuries. So it sounds new, but it's not new. Social capital is about making connections with others so that you both can mutually gain from the experience, right? It's about, and what's come out now more than anything is how important it is to get off the social media at some points and physically, or as near as damn it, get together face to face with people and connect with them. Once you're connected, you need to build that trust, build your credibility, by engaging and by sharing what you know and what you can do to help the other before selling or saying what they can do for you. So in BNI, which Janine, Stephen, and myself are all part of, if I've missed anyone, sorry about that, but there's a few of us in the Explore ProTech tribe, and we've been taught about something called Giver's Gain. And social capital is a lot to do with that. Giver's Gain means giving something of yourself, whether it's product, services, or experience, or insights, or advice, without expectation of something in return. Yeah, and now I think that's what is absolutely essential in today's business world, that the interactions are on a human level, that they are not about hardcore selling and let me just run away with the money and thank you very much and you won't ever see me again. Business has changed dramatically, but good business always operated on these principles. It always operated on building relationships, really engaging with other parties. And more important than that, this is a lovely topic. I'm sorry, I'm going to waffle a bit, but more important than that, it's about getting diverse and different perspectives from others. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I worked in the bank in corporate, those are the only people I knew: bankers, accountants, finance people, lenders. Maybe occasionally I came across a marketing person, never a virtual assistant, never a life coach, never a brand strategist. And those are the people that I've subsequently met by being part of networks. So the perspectives are like 100,206 Zoomer type numbers, miles away from anything that you knew before, So yeah, I mean, I'm actually quite excited about the topic. So I'm gonna just throw it back to you guys though, because I'm sure there's like more we can add to this. But that to me is what it's all about, and I'm doing it and it's working. Linda Dent, just ask Linda, business coaching. Bam.
Bam.
Oh, Linda, I really like that. And, if we think about it, Explore ProTech didn't start with any financial backing or financial capital.
We did, but it had a 0 in front of it.
Literally, Explore ProTech is one big social experiment. How can we use social capital to build our businesses? Well, I mean, the answer is right there. Build relationships, get to know people. There is a power in that is second to none. It develops trust. It brings in business. It brings in referrals. It brings in trusted referrals. You don't really recommend somebody that you don't know who they are and you don't know what their work is like. You recommend people that you know who they are and you trust them and you trust that their services are the right services for the people that you are offering those services to. So social capital, can you start a business with just social capital?
Depends on how good you are. If you're like Peter, yay. If you're like me and still learning, if you find yourself a Peter or Linda.
Can I just add one little bit here? Social is about connecting with people, right? And capital is like financial capital. It has value. So the reason somebody, I don't know who, put the word social and capital together was to create value in the social connections between people, because it's not just let's have a coffee, a party, let's just chat about the weather. It's intentional that you're attempting to add value. So that's why it is as important as financial capital, if not more so.
Exactly, Linda, exactly. I mean, just from a financial reporting perspective, because like I train a lot of accountants sometimes, all the time, right? ESG, economic, social, and governance disclosures in financial reporting is a huge topic right now. It's massive, and you know what? It didn't start with the regulators. It started with people, business owners, literally just deciding we need to disclose. We want to disclose how we're affecting the economy, the environment, how we're affecting the social networks around us, how we're affecting the governance around us. And why did they want to disclose it? Because there's so much value in it. If someone notices that you are doing something that like brings them closer to their end goal, they will support you no matter what, because people are inherently selfish. So, but if you align their interests together so that they both win from going in the same direction, they will go so much further together. And I think that's what I love about what Linda said. And I love how strategic she is about it as well. Because the one thing with social capital is it doesn't help to just make friends with everyone, right? That's me. I'm just like, you're awesome, let's be friends. And Peter's like, no.
I'm awesome.
Peter's like, no, Nadine, let's build our network with the best people, the right people, the good people, the people that share our values. And that, like, then you can be like friends with everyone. You can do everything for everyone. It's fine. But first, let's find those people.
Well, I mean, there should be strategy involved in exercising social capital. If you don't have any strategy, don't do it. It will bite you in the bum. Create a strategy as to where you want to be so that you can understand who do you need to invest time into. Who will you actually allow to invest time into you? You have to be very strategic, and there has to be a level of trust. So be really smart. And you got to have your head on your shoulders. And as entrepreneurs, if you don't have your head on your shoulders, go speak to a Mr. Stephen Levy. He'll put it back on for you. Right? Go speak to a Linda Dent. If your heart's not in the right place and you don't understand who you are and what you're doing, go speak to Rita Skuman. Social capital.
Love it. Okay, let's hear from, I'm super keen to actually hear from one of our marketing, one of Mr. Super Sales, okay? Let's hear from him. So social capital in sales, Marlon. Yes, no, maybe. How do we use it to grow our business? Can we?
Thanks, Nadine. I totally agree with what everybody has said. And I think, of course you can. I mean, there is no business that doesn't run. Look at the most successful business. They have a ton of people. Those people, they're there because, and they get a lot of capital through commerce and sales because people trust them. So it's all down to trust. Where there's trust, there's flow. So if you have a business starting from scratch and you literally go to where you have trust, you can start to generate some income, some flow. And if you build that trust, if you invest time, like Linda was saying, in building that trust, it will come eventually. So that's just how it works. I mean, even if your own little bakery, you're starting it out in a community, that is exactly it. You get into that space and you say, hey guys, we've got our bakery and we're part of the community. And then people will say, okay, I want to support you. Who are you, first of all? Like you were saying, Peter, like, who are you? And like, why did you start this? And why here? And, and when people start to listen to that story of who you are and they start to love your bread, and all of a sudden they will come back. How often is it that we connect with salespeople, and those salespeople, they're not just there for their own reason. They're there because they really want to understand what your problem is and whether they're in the best position to solve it. I know, like, there's I don't know, did you guys know Zappos? Does everyone know Zappos yet? Okay, some people know. So Zappos is a shoe company in America. They're famous, and their headquarters is in Las Vegas. And what the owners did once, just like they had gone out on a night in Las Vegas, and they decided to they had a bit of a bender, like, so it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and they decided, oh, we need to get some Domino's pizza. So they're like, let's call Zappos. And they're like, okay, great idea. Let's call Zappos. So they call Zappos and they're like, we want some pizza. And remember, it's a shoe company. What ends up happening is the call agent finds them the closest Domino's and places the order for them. Now that is service beyond, right? This is giving the people what they want. Not only were those people so super surprised, it just talks about the culture of the business and how much trust they eventually have. Now, if they're doing that for somebody that they're just calling on a whim, imagine what they're doing for the customers day in, day out. And that's what we're talking about. So definitely social capital, that's how you build a business. I think that's what it's all about. So yeah, my name is Marlon August, marketing consultant and sales at Story Advantage.
I have goosebumps, Marlon. And that's Mr. Super Sales, using the power of storytelling to enthrall all of us in the social capital story. That's awesome. I love it. Thank you so much. I mean, just what I'll say, and I promise to give this person a shout out today about social capital, is we, you guys know by now, like we met up with Scott Kundil, right, from myMostTrusted.net, and they made us, they listened to our dreams.
Actually, they made up their mind once they've met some of our members.
Then they met some of our members, and then Scott literally came back and he was like, you have relationships with the best people and they love you and we love them, and like, can we just give you our software? We were like, yeah, you can do that. That would be amazing. And then Scott came back for training this week on Wednesday with the tribe, and he came to train us and excite us a little bit about using the actual software. And in that meeting, our people were so amazing in terms of, you know, also thinking about Scott and his company and his story and what we could do for them, that Scott turned around and he was like, I'm building you guys a CRM. Like, today, I sent him the email sequence that we want to go out to our combined database from using the software. And it's just incredible. And all of this has happened and literally no currency has exchanged hands. Like, I can't believe it. Like,
what currency has exchanged hands?
Before, I was in business in my accounting firm and I had to beg people to help me. And most of the time they would take me for a ride. I almost got bankrupted twice because of, you know, people that just weren't doing what I was asking them to do. But then, like, I would still pay them and then I'd have to work an extra job just to support all of us. And it was a nightmare.
Mm.
And now I'm seeing this and it's the opposite of that. And I know that the difference and the secret is the people and the capital, so the value that you build with them. Because every time you help someone in our network, you're building up that goodwill. And it always comes back to you with these people because you find the best people. So thank you.
I want to jump in here, right? So there's something that happened that shows the dark side of this, like the flip side, right? Because I was actually having a discussion with somebody yesterday, and they were talking to me about because certain people are just out there for themselves. So when people are like Linda was saying, their whole job is to get a sale or to get through a door, and they know that you're the key, you know, to get there. They will do that, and they will use you in that way. And it's about your awareness of what Peter was saying, you know, like who you are and what it is that you actually want and the people that you want around you, because people understand the power of that. They understand the power of the networks that you have and the trust that you have created. So they will use that in order to get whatever they want, and then they will leave. Now, the interesting thing is this with the same person, when they were down and out, like certain people, all these people disappeared. Now that they're starting to collect themselves again, guess what? Everyone flocks back. So it's like, it's really about that awareness of really what do I want and who am I and what do I want to achieve, and maintaining that vision, because certain people are going to try and leverage that, and they're gonna hurt you for it. So it's really about maintaining that right integrity with what Nassim was talking about, the right people. Why? Because they will give back, like how Linda was saying, they'll give to you. They will, and they have no expectation from you. They're not sitting there waiting for, those people you kind of have to wait for the penny to drop. Like, what's the catch? This is, and I think that's a big component of this network, is that we're in it for each other. We're in it to help each other. And that is a core difference to going to in most other places.
Marlon, I really love what you're saying. And if you add strategy to that, I mean, we had to come up with a process just to keep the people that are wolves in sheep's clothing. We had to come up with a process to weed them out, or to figure them out before they actually became part of what we are creating. Because what we're creating in this social capital environment, it creates a dynamic. It creates a flow of people that are all like-minded. But if you allow that one or two people that have got a different mindset into the space, they kind of fester like a bad wound, and they change the dynamic. So if you do have a networking space and you have a group of people and you have a dynamic, figure out a way to weed people out that hurt your dynamic. We came up with our method. Our method is a dating process. It's very simple, where we allow people into our space for 2 weeks for free. They can come to our events. They can come and see what we're doing. They can have access to a few of our members. It gives the entire group a chance to meet them and kind of gauge who they are. It gives them a chance to gauge who the group is. And then collectively we decide, is this a person that we want in our space? And we catch those people that want to arrive and go, I'm really a nice person, but now for $99.99.
Until you like me on YouTube.
Yeah. So figure out a process, figure something out, even if it costs you a little bit of time, even if it costs you a little bit of what would have been a paid member, or figure out that process.
I mean, I have to tell you guys, I was so shocked this week. In one of the meetings that Peter had with a potential new member, she tried to get us to sell our members. Like money under the table. Then you guys go, we think you should really buy this. This will be good for your business. Yes, you should buy it. And then every time you guys buy it, we'll get money. Like, I was so shocked. I'm like, and there are networking companies that are doing this. Like, that is ridiculous. And we were like, do you know how valuable the social capital is in our business? Like, we will not do anything on the face of this earth to break the trust with our members. It's just not going to happen.
But you could earn $10,000.
You can.
I don't
stop
care.
$10,000. So it actually happens. Stephen, you have something to say, and I'm pretty sure it's about values or culture, because a lot of this that we're doing, we got from you.
Just, you know me so well, it's about both. Those exact two things.
Yeah, sometimes I listen.
Yeah, it's, you need financial capital. Well, it's good to have financial capital. You can build a business without it, but it's really tough. I've been there. So the financial capital has value. Social capital is about values. And your values will define what that group looks like. That values will define your culture. And then if you really live the values, which doesn't often happen, people have values And they put them out there. Sometimes I think it's just part of the checklist. And that's wrong. If you actually bring your values to life, that will define the culture of your network, of your business. And then you will attract the right people, because you will attract the people that align with those values. Or like the story you told now, you knew straight away that this person doesn't belong in this community or in this tribe, because you have a strong culture of coffee first and business later. So you understand your culture, and you don't have to sell it to anybody. You just need to find people who fit in with it. And I think that's very important in business, is to have that, to understand your culture, and then to stand by it, because that's where the test comes. The test of your values, you were tested by this person that offered you money under the table. That's where the true test of your values came. And you lived them because you were able to say, no, it does not align with who we are. And I think one must remember that in social capital, with social capital, that's what it's about. It's about values. And how do we connect together? You know, and that's why you'll attract the right people and build your business. And there's a big spin-off. Sorry, Ernestine, there's a big spin-off from that, because it is the foundation of building your business.
Culture eats strategy for breakfast every time. That's the first thing I learned from Mr. Levy, and it is so true.
You know, I'll share a quick story with you. Yesterday, I was on a call with it.
And now we'll be busy for the next 15 minutes. I'm joking. Go for it, Stephen. I'm joking. I'm sorry.
Culture is about relationships, so I'm just going to build it. And it's about people. But I was on a call with a young lady. She's just going into varsity. She lives in Russia. You will meet her on Tuesday night. And she was, but what I want to share with you is, she was afraid. I was talking to her about the GOSN, and she was afraid because of her. She actually speaks English very well for a young Russian or a Russian person, but it was a fear of hers, and she was afraid to come to the event, or she had reservations about coming to the event. But I was able to tell her emphatically that she can actually, I said, you know what, the wonderful thing about this event is you don't have to be afraid, because in this community, you just show up as you are. They allow you to do that. And I could clearly state that to her, because I understand clearly the culture of Explore ProTech. So it wasn't a hesitation. It was emphatic, and she could feel it. She knew this wasn't some marketing bullshit that I was giving her. This was like, because as I'm saying it to you, that's exactly, I said, now you should really come, because if you do have this fear, this is the place for you to start and get over that fear, because people will not judge you when you come in here. They will actually support you. So I went a bit against your rules and not your culture. So now they've got 2 people that are registered for free. So if you want, goodbye.
Well done, Stephen.
No, but it was, and then she actually sent a thing back saying, oh, thank you. She felt better, but it's not me. It was the culture of Explore ProTech that I was able to explain to her. So her social capital, her social interaction is, it's important for her. She's a graphic designer. It's important for her, and she understood it. And now she can come and try it in this tribe, but she feels comfortable coming in here. And she had a chance to see, does she fit in with this culture or not?
That's awesome. I love it. Well, if we didn't have the rule that we could show up as we are, me and Peter would both not be allowed at any of our meetings.
Because I look super corporate, right?
Okay, I know Linda has her hand up, but let's just quickly hear from Rita as well. I'm really keen to hear from a life coaching perspective, Rita. How can we use social capital to build our business?
Ernestine, I think from a coaching perspective, for sure. That's the only place, the only thing that will work, and the only place to do it is to build your social capital, because what is coaching? It is a business, it's a relationship building process. And I think from Explore ProTech, it just makes it easier. Let's have coffee first, and then we take it further. But from and if you build that into the coaching side, yes, you can't sell everything for freebies, but get the trust going and the rest will happen. But it's also true that we all know that sales, 95% of the sales doesn't happen with the first interaction. It happens over a very, very long period of time. And here's the interesting thing. I sat with my coach this morning, and he said to me, Rita, for the past 8 months, I think 6 months, 8 months, I had no new client. And I said, okay, so then and he gave me all reasons, but his social capital comes out of, let's put it out of his database, out of the 20 years of business that he had, and the clients that he had, and the long-term contracts that he had with those guys. That's where it came from. But it is a relationship building process. There is no other way to say that. And it's a process that you have to nurture. If you don't give it coffee when coffee is due, it's not going to get where you want it to go. So yes, from a coaching perspective, it is really, that is probably the most important thing, is the social, let's call it capital, and I understand what Linda said, where it's coming from, but it is the relationship building process. And you will weed out those that don't fit in, and those that fit in will stay. You know, you will keep on working with those, and those, it's just how it works. You know, that's nature. Some will fall off and others will stay with you. So yeah, absolutely. A relationship building process. I think what also came up for me is, and we had a conversation last week about it, joint ventures. What is relationship different, or what is joint ventures different than relationship building? In the whole process, there might some other stuff come out where we can help each other at whatever the case might be. So yeah, and the other thing that came up, and I'm not sure who said that, it was Marlon, the one thing that we always have to bear in mind and be aware of is we have to be open-minded. The moment that we close our mind, we close doors. We really have to be open-minded and let it be. And it's okay if you change your mind of what you resonate with today, you don't resonate with tomorrow. That is okay. And that's the experience. So be open-minded, but because if you close your mind, you close the doors for yourself. Thank you. That's Rita Skuman, Coaching with Heart.
Thank you, Rita. That was awesome. I have to, like, what came up for me while you were talking about that and giving that example was the one way to use social capital to build your business, the guaranteed way that a lot of people actually miss, is actually using it. Like, stop doing business the traditional way. Start getting creative with it. Actually go, maybe after this or now or whenever, just take 20 minutes and think of in your business, is there any place where you need other people? Is there any way for you to involve them in such a way that it would be beneficial to them to be involved in that process?
Something I just want to add is that when we first started our business, we knew what the breadline was. We needed to make money. So desperate people put themselves in that situation where they're like, I've got to sell, I've got to sell, I've got to sell. You know, I have to sell this product, I have to sell this thing, it has to grow. And they come at it from a perspective of, I need to make sales. And they miss the whole point of social capital, and they step into a relationship, and the very first thing you hear is, buy my product, buy my stuff. I was actually sitting down the other day, I was actually sitting with somebody that's busy dating the tribe at the moment. And I was thinking about it, and my response was, I actually don't need to sell you anything. Like, I really don't. I can introduce you to the people. You make up, when you decide this is a space for you, you'll come back to me. That is how confident we are in the social interactions and the social capital and the dynamic that's been built, that I've realized I don't have to sell anything anymore. It sells itself. Well, you know, why do I don't need to be pushy. Here's the opportunity. Take a look at it for yourself. We'll talk again in 2 weeks. Tell me what you think.
But share your vision with the people around you, and then show them how it could be beneficial for them to work with you, and they will. Linda, you've had your hand up for the last 20 minutes. Please
I put it down for a while because it was getting
I saw.
getting tired of having my hand up the whole time. No, it's fine. I've been listening to Rita with avid attention. That was absolutely spot on. This whole relationship building thing has been, literally, I used to have a title, relationship manager, back in the banking days. It was the greatest title. I loved it. That's what I did, build relationships over the long term, and through that, you know, gain and retain business. So I've just got 2 comments. One, I've started my business just over 3 years ago, just about 3 years ago. Not one of my clients has come from a Facebook ad or a flyer or a Google ad. They've all come through relationships that I either had, like friends or family members, or ones that I took the time to build, to connect with someone and allow it to build to the point where they said, hey, I need a business coach and I think it's you. And then at that point, I put the hat on. Here's a proposal. Here's my quote. Here's what we're going to do. Are you keen? If you're happy, sign on the dotted line, pay the invoice, and let's get going. And that works beautifully. I never did that right at the beginning. It's like, it's a process, right? And so you do have to have patience. You can't just assume one call, done, quote sent. It sometimes takes 2 or 3 conversations. It takes showing up, being visible, building your credibility so that you earn the trust, right? You don't just say, hey, trust me, and they trust you. You've got to earn the trust. So that was the one point that I just wanted to add on. And the second one from much earlier was around being cautious. So I am skeptical. I do take time to make decisions about people and things. There are lots of shiny bubbles out there that we are bombarded with, you know, bubbles galore. Bubbles used to be just a few that you blew through one of those little tube and you chase a few little bubbles, and it was great and very happy space to be in. But what happens with the bubbles? They pop, right? So I think what I'm getting at here is that, yes, you're just bombarded, whether it's LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, networking, meetings, invites to events. You are going to get bombarded with, here's the best idea you've ever seen. This is the thing. Sign up, buy the book, do the course, sort it out. And you get big eyes and you go, woo, shiny bubble. let me chase this shiny bubble. I think it's good, and this is my point, that you have a healthy dose of skepticism about every single thing you read and every single person you meet. So you are the best friend, Nestine, and many of the people in the tribe are these best friends. If you don't know what that is, you need to take the quiz. Do we still have the quiz? Because that was awesome. Find out who you are. If you're a best friend, that's awesome. You are just such a nice, gorgeous, sweet person. But please cultivate a healthy sense of cynicism and skepticism before committing 100%. Be open, listen, absorb, and then if you don't think you know quite what you're doing, ask somebody who's not a best friend to just give you their viewpoint. Sometimes it's all to say, but hang on a second, what are these people doing? They've been very clever with their marketing, and Marlon would know this, very clever with the way they get you to behave, but at the end of the day, they're just trying to sell to you. So it's really, you've got to get that radar that says, these people are not part of our tribe, because our tribe is not that. Thank you for listening to me. That's Linda Dent. Just Ask Linda Business Coaching. Learn
Linda,
to Lee.
I still remember the day that we succeeded in earning your trust. I still remember it, because first of all, it took about 8 months. And second of all, you told me, you were like, I'm like, it's not someone I trust easily, and I wasn't really sure if this is for me. I think you even used the shiny bubble. You weren't sure if we were bubbles or not. But then you say those magical words, and you were like, but I actually think that this tribe is for me, and I am ready.
Do you know when we knew that Linda Dent trusted us? When she actually invited somebody from her network to join us. That shows trust.
And I think that was Janine, and then Taryn, and then more amazing humans. So thank you so
Janine and
much,
Clarissa, Janine, Clarissa, Grant, Anna, a few people. Maybe you don't know.
Linda's built half of this network, guys. That's how much of a social capitalist she is.
This is Linda's platform today. You go, girl.
Yeah, no, I'll step back now. Bye-bye.
I remember coming across a sales pitch once that was worded quite strangely. We were driving our car. We stopped at a set of robots, or if you know them as traffic lights, depending on where in the world you are. And they handed me a piece of paper, and on the paper it said that if you attend this speech or this seminar, you get a free DVD player. And I was like, but I need a DVD player. I don't have one. So I went and I listened to the speech. So I was like, okay, I've listened to the speech. Where's my DVD player? Then they were like, no, you have to select a number and then you have to see if you qualify. And I was like, but I don't say that on my paper. My paper says, listen to the speech, give a DVD player. I want my DVD player. Then they were like, no. And I was like, no, sorry. This is what the paper says. Give me my DVD player. And then I staged a walkout. I was like, listen, guys, you all came here for a DVD player. And 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get one. I'm going to guarantee you I'm going to get a DVD player. I'm not leaving you without one. They didn't write it on the paper they gave me. Didn't say I had to qualify. It just said I had to listen to the speech. I got a DVD player. They weren't happy. But you got to be really, it's been mentioned a few times. You do have to be careful. You have to be careful as to what you read or what somebody's trying to sell you or how they're trying to sell it to you. Is there trust? Is there that? So if you're going to be using social capital, be smart about it. Be authentic. If you yourself are using it for your business, be authentic. Don't be the wolf in sheep's clothing. Don't be that. Be authentic, because when people discover you, that's it, it's done. You lose. Be authentic.
Guys, I am so sorry. I know we still have lots of people that want to chat, but we actually do have to wrap up now. This has been an absolutely amazing show. Thank you so much to all of our expert entrepreneurs that have been here with us.
And the guests in the background.
And the guests in the background that have been supporting and chatting. And I want to encourage all of you to continue this conversation on YouTube. That's what the YouTube is for. Go and chat in the comments, get more perspectives, just talk to us, because we're here and we want to help. And this is your safe space. Okay.
And if you want to know how to use social capital and we haven't thoroughly covered it, well, then these people all understand how to do it because they use social capital. So reach out to them. Hey, I want to know more. I want to figure out, how did you do it?
Remember, their links are in the description. Go and reach out. These are the best people in the world. You want them by your side. Okay. And on that note, I just want to leave you guys with a challenge. Everyone on this call and everyone watching, I want to challenge you to make just 15 minutes of time. Marlon, I know you're busy. 15 minutes, okay? And all you do is you think of the perfect team, your perfect business, and the perfect team that runs that perfect business. Who are they? Okay, at that point in time, it's not about thinking if it's realistic or not. You just think of it. So if you're like, well, in my perfect business, Marlon is doing my sales and Linda is my coach and Stephen is training all my leaders, you write that down. Once you've written it down, every single day, 1 minute, spend 1 minute thinking about how can I get these people to become involved in my business. Do that for 30 days and let me know what happens in your business. I dare you. Okay, and on that note, credit for that idea to Stephen Levy. That's what he used on me. That's why Explore ProTech exploded. But we'll see you again next week, same time, same place. We love you. This is your safe space. Come back, come chat to us. And we'll see you then. Bye.